Yeah.
So welcome both of you to our Kapi Poha session, episode 22. And I'm very glad both of you are there on the show. So both of you, I met in a phase where I was going through a figuring out phase in life. So is voice echoing anywhere? Am
No,
I?
Yeah,
it's
there is some background noise I'm hearing.
Okay, so I don't, yeah, okay. Let me check something I can do with the sound or something. Yeah. So today's guest speaker for our show is Hemant Deshpande. He's a career coach. He's a mentor for CXO and senior leaders as well. And before becoming a coach, he was into IT industry for almost 18 years. And sir, I got to know that you are an electrical engineer as well. And although you are an NLP practitioner and a Strengthscope practitioner as well, and also I think you got an executive coaching certification from Canada, as well as you're a ICF certified coach as well. So yeah, so this was all news to me when I was reading about you. But I remember meeting you through a webinar, virtual webinar, where one of my senior colleague from my first organization had asked me to join your webinar. And the takeaways which I got from that webinar was like, because I had come back from sabbatical and was completely lost, and I had not cleared my interviews as well. So the thing you told me was to position myself in a way that whatever journey I've gone through is my strength basically, not a weakness, and that changed everything. So my interviews, I was able to crack my interviews, got a job, and you've seen that journey as well. And when we were having that initial call of discussing what needs to be done in my career path, what the discovery call which we call, I discovered my purpose with you basically. That is what NiMiTHAM is all about. That is how you would ask me that if you want to do something of a life skill workshop or a growth mindset workshop, what you need to do is start having a Zoom call. This is the right place to do the start something
Yeah.
new. So, and I think that gave me an idea to do something with my own people, start the journey of having a chat show with my own people, share their inspirational journey to other people as part of my life skill workshop. Yeah. So, and
Wonderful.
also I want to introduce Nitin here. So I met Nitin last year and he's come on our show of upskilling workshop as well. And
Yeah.
he's a man of profession, and he's an artist by art as well. And he loves to explore new places. He's always learning something new or the other. Whenever I interact with Nitin, push to push, I keep learning. So yeah, so I'm very glad to have both of you on the same frame. So yeah, over to you, sir, for your little bit introduction to our viewers.
Sure. And I'm very, very happy to be here with you, Smita and Nitin. So I remember our interaction, Smita, that some time back, which you mentioned. And looking at your journey, very, very inspiring, Smita. And I also got your book, right?
Thanks. Yeah.
right.
Amazing.
Same
I
here.
mean, yeah. So it's quite an amazing journey you have been through, Smita, and it is so very inspiring for all of us. So very happy to be on this episode, on this call with you. And Nitin, I know, and Nitin is a person who is creative, as you rightly mentioned, and he's always learning something new. Whenever I speak to him, I learn something new. He explores different kinds of tools, different kinds of things that he does. So glad to be on this call with both of you. So about my introduction, Smita.
Mm.
As you described me, as you, so I'm a, career leadership coach and mentor for CXOs and senior leaders. And this is something I started doing when I chose to move from corporate job into something that I wanted to do to follow my heart. So this journey of me as a coach started in 2014 and has been a fantastic journey. So that's the work that I do and have been doing for the last 7 years.
So, sir, एक और छोटा सा secret I'll share that you're known as a HD in our group, okay? In my circle of people, HD means high dimension, which I have told Nitin as well earlier. So, high dimension means people who meet you. I mean, उनका dimension ही change हो जाता है. जैसे photograph का dimension change हो जाता है. So probably that's what I always talk about you in that manner. So people from Pune, lot of people have attended your webinars, basically the introductory one, or they have seen your videos, YouTube videos, which I have shared with them. So you're a popular figure. I mean, both of you are in my circle of people where I pass on the information regarding coaching or any information which is related to your strengths, finding a blind spot, and a lot of stuff like that. So I keep doing that. So what we'll do is I'll ask few questions with you, sir, and then once I am done, I will ask Nitin to ask the remaining questions. So this is a new
Sure.
format which we're trying because we never
Yeah.
had three people on the show as together. So we wanted to know
Yeah.
your journey. Yeah, so my youngsters, people who are in my schools and colleges where I take sessions and all, they wanted to know that what has been your journey as a coach, basically. So when you decided you want to become a coach, so अब तक का क्या journey रहा है आपका?
Right. So journey as a coach has been fantastic, and one of the most important reasons for that, Smita, is as a coach, I need to learn every day. I
Yeah.
need to up my game every day. I need to keep introspecting my life every day, uh, and it is it is a it is a huge opportunity to contribute to people as well. So journey as a coach has been really fantastic, and I'm glad that I chose to become a coach. So last 7 years, I have been really fortunate to work with more than 300 clients so far, who come from different industries, different geographies, different cities of India, people from outside of India, different countries, people from US, UK, Malaysia, Japan, Middle Eastern countries, Australia, all of these places. Also, seniority levels, different seniority levels, different industries. So I got to meet more than I think I have had one-on-one sessions with more than 2,000 people so far, and I
That's
have
fantastic.
been fortunate to coach more than 350 people in the last 7 years, and which are long-term journeys with them, like 6 months, 1 year. Some of the clients I have been working with for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years also. So it has been very, very satisfying journey. At the same time, it keeps challenging me.
Hmm. So yeah, also we wanted to know you had 18 years of work experience with the IT industry. So how has it been shifting from IT industry to your career into your coaching life as well?
Yeah, yeah. So I worked in the IT industry for 18 years. It was a fantastic journey. When I graduated as an engineer from Pune University back in 97, IT industry was growing very fast. And I started my journey as a professional with Satyam, which is now Tech Mahindra, and worked there for a few years. Then I moved on to IBM Global Services, worked there for more than 4 years. Fantastic companies to work with, fantastic clients to work with. All of these, I got an opportunity to work with global clients. Uh, then I then I started my managerial journey with Mastech, uh, and worked there for a couple of years, and then I moved on to Infosys, where I spent close to 9 years. Now, this 18 years of journey, when I look back, was a fantastic journey of learning. Uh, Also, that particular industry, because it was growing, I also grew in roles. Because we were working with global clients, I got opportunities to work across the globe. Worked in the US for 6 years for different clients at different locations. It was a great learning experience to work in a different culture, a different geography. Got to learn a lot of things. Worked in Europe for a short stint. Then I worked in China for 1 year. It was very interesting experience to work in China. Had a different notion and concept about China, but when we actually went there, I traveled there with my family. It was a very, very enriching experience for me, professionally, personally, as well. And so after 18 years, even though career was going okay, but I don't know what to call that as. Something was missing. Uh, I realized that, oh, now at this stage something is missing. And this started happening when I was in China. I said, everything seems to be going okay, but that sense of satisfaction was missing. Sense of purpose was missing as well. And then I started introspecting. In fact, the organization that I was working with at that point in time had a mentoring program, and I had a fantastic mentor. Uh, and when I was interacting with the mentor, a lot of things started coming out through my own expression. That what is it that I wanted to do, and one thing became very clear through those conversations and introspection is that I wanted to do something that I love to do. And from there, the search began for what is it that I would like to do, uh, and then how do I switch my career? It was a very big decision to switch that career. So that is how it all started unfolding.
So how did you face any challenges when you were transitioning from your corporate career to become a coach?
Yes, lots of challenges actually. It was not easy to change my career because I was working with a very well-known company at a fairly senior role. Uh, so it was it. So in some ways, I was in my comfort zone. So leaving that comfort zone, and especially the financial part, right, the pay part, letting that go because I was the only earning member in the family. So letting that go and starting something new, it was a very big risk for me. So that was challenging. Uh, and I was starting off in a completely new field where I was starting, almost from scratch as a professional. So those were the challenges. Some challenges were internal as well, that my own uh, call that as fears, that how this will unfold. Will I be successful? What if I fail? Uh, so all those things kept going on. And that's the time actually, Smita, I felt the need to work with a coach. And I searched for a life coach. This was back in 2013, when 2014 starting. When I actually Googled for a life coach that time. And luckily I found my life coach at that point in time. His name is Milind Jadhav. And when I spoke to him, uh, then I worked with him as my life coach almost for a year. It gave me a lot of confidence, clarity, and it helped me overcome these challenges which I spoke about. Because many of these challenges were actually related to my own fears, and it gave me courage also to take that step towards following my heart.
So we wanted to discuss about, reinventing your career. So we just wanted to know how important is reinventing your career for anybody, for that matter, and does it help in redesigning your life as well?
Yeah, I mean, reinventing your career is definitely required from two angles, right? One is from the external angle, where the industry is changing very fast, technology is changing very fast, uh, globalization. These are all external forces which are shaping up industries. Lots of changes are happening. So reinventing ourselves as professionals, reinventing our careers is imperative from that perspective. The changes which are happening. Reinvention can also happen because of internal reasons. Like in my case, reinvention of my career happened because of internal reasons, that I started feeling that, hey, there is something more to life. There is something more to work. There is something more to career. And the introspection started. So that was the inside out that was happening. And later on, I created a model around inside out. That how do you reinvent your career using the inside out model? So some reasons are internal, like if I am, like I was mentioning, I was missing satisfaction and fulfillment. Now it was a reflection and introspection journey that I took on. What will possibly give me fulfillment and satisfaction? So reinvention also from that perspective. So reinvention is necessary, but we cannot just say that. It has to be felt by that individual, that
Absolutely.
reinvention is necessary. It cannot be forced from outside. And then, the second part of it, right? One of my taglines is reinvent your career, redesign your life. Reinventing your career, it actually gives you an opportunity to look at yourself and look at your life in a totally different way. And that is what happened in my case. So today, the work that I do, it doesn't feel like work. I mean, of course, I work hard. I work, you know, I work sincerely. I work professionally. Uh, but it is because I love that work. It doesn't burn me out.
Yeah. You enjoy
So
it's your passion basically. You're passionate about it.
yeah, correct. So it is my passion. So uh, and because I chose this career, it has completely redesigned my life in many different ways.
That's right. So yeah, I will also share one example. Like when I was last year, I was like looking at my life for finding how my life is going to be or what is the purpose and all those things. And later on, I realized, and if you read the book also, it's like I'm searching, I'm looking for myself in that book. If you read that book, the essence is that somebody reads it. But later on, I realized that it's not finding yourself; it's about creating yourself, which is more important. So that is my second innings in life, which I always say, this is what I am doing right now. So whatever it is, you can create it from completely scratch. So that
Very
is what I
powerful.
want all those coaches basically. So whether it's you, whether it's my coach Ramanan sir, or whether it's my NLP coach, this is what coaches have helped me achieve. That yeah, it's not about finding yourself. So you can create it. You don't have to do anything else basically. So yeah, so
Absolutely.
as you know, NiMiTHAM is all about life skills. I wanted to know
Yeah.
what's your take on life skill and which is the most important life skill according to you.
Okay. Life skills, right? It's a very interesting question and very powerful question that you asked. In our education system, a lot of life skills which are required uh, to be successful in life are not taught in schools,
Yes.
unfortunately, or in colleges, for that matter, not even at the MBA colleges, right? They're not taught. Uh, Now, one of the life skill you asked me, right? What is the life skill that I would give like a top rating, right? For me, it is continuous learning
Hmm.
as a life skill, right? Because life is changing all the time. I am changing all the time. People around me are changing. Uh, Situations around us are changing. So what, like we saw in the last 2 years, right? The pandemic has hit the world, and then we had to adapt to that. So we had to learn new ways of doing things, and so continuous learning, also openness to develop yourself, because learning is about open mind as well. It is not only about gathering knowledge, but it is also about uh, transforming ourselves day in and day out.
Yes.
So that is what, in my view, is one of the important life skills.
मतलब लाइफ के लिए विद्यार्थी बने रहो, right?
Yes.
So yeah, over to you, Nitin. Now I think you can ask sir any questions you wanted to ask.
Sure. Thanks. And I had opportunity to work with him, sir, and I think I have interacted with him, and a journey is still on. I have taken a break because of my work, but I met him in one of the actual course that he conducted in Mastech, and that's where I met him in person. And furthermore, I've been associated with him for the career coach or life coach journey, and it has been very good experience for me. And I could say it's still on. And glad to have you on the show. And I'd just like to know, Hemant, from your end, like how did you find the purpose in your life? Whether it was just the corporate entire thing getting to you, or the part you said something missing in life, or is there anything else which made you, which triggered that? Like, okay, I do want to do something different in life, because typically in corporate, you're all set and you're working and everything is settled. So how did you arrive at that?
Okay. So purpose, right? When I was working in corporate, I enjoyed the journey. There is no question about that. It was an amazing journey. But after 18 years, about 18 years, there came a point that something was missing, as I was mentioning earlier. Fulfillment was missing. And then I started asking myself that the work that I'm putting in and day out, is it really creating the impact in the world that I want to create? And sometimes the answer was no. That is one part of it, right? Then the next question that arose was that, okay, then what is it that will give me fulfillment and satisfaction? What started becoming clear to me is that if I want to experience that fulfillment and satisfaction, then it has to be something that I love to do, right? We can call that as passion. Something that I would love to do. So then I started exploring that, reading books, talking to people like I was talking to my mentor, and then I started working with a coach as well. Read a lot of books around that time. And then there was a third factor which came in, which was about, there was an assignment which was very, very challenging assignment, and which required me to work almost day and night, 12 hours, 15 hours, lot of stress, no work-life balance. And then I started asking question to myself that, is this really worth it?
True.
So three factors, right? One is that what is going to give me fulfillment? Started exploring that, and it became clear to me that I want to do something that I love to do. And what I was doing, I was good at it, and I enjoyed it up to a certain extent. I mean, for 18 years I enjoyed, but there came a point that I said, no, this is something that I would not like to continue for another 20 years.
Right.
And the third factor, which is priorities in life. What are my priorities in life? Because in 2014, around that time when all this was going on in my mind and in my heart, my son was only 2 years old, and I was not able to spend time with him. I was, there came a point that I missed his birthday because of my work commitments. And, I started asking myself that question, that what is really important in my life? So that was a third factor. So purpose was, I want to follow my heart. And then also there were two other factors that came into the mix, so to say.
That's interesting to know. So I think you covered the question that I was going to ask, like what are the three crucial factors that you think are necessary for career change or transformation? Because I've been part of that journey, and I have realized the same, that there are some factors that you actually look at, and as you rightly said, satisfaction is very crucial factor that everybody looks for, as you rightly said. So that brings me, to the next question, that, okay, you are already embarked on that journey and you are a successful coach. So what do you think is your life mantra now?
Life mantra, for me, now that's a difficult one. Okay. So I think, continue learning, I think is my life mantra. I like to learn every day. Also learn about, so learning can be of different kinds. Like one is learning related to my work. I'm also inclined a lot to learn about life itself. Some people may call that a spiritual journey or spiritual learning. But that is also something, that learning about life as well. What is this life about? What it means to be a human being? So these are questions which I'm exploring. So my life mantra right now is that, keep learning more and keep exploring. Be curious. So
Right.
that's my life mantra.
That's very well said. It's just one line, but very effective, I guess. Curiosity is something that takes you ahead and that takes off your complacency in which field you are or whatever work that you do. So thanks for that. So coming back, now we are talking about life mantra, and so what do you, according to you, if if person like me who is also having 15 years of experience, and so what do you think, which are the life skills, which are important if someone wants to go into transformation or wants to do something that he or she loves? So what do you think, according to you, are the life skills which are important for these things as per your
Yeah,
experience and the journey?
sure. So life skill of um, exploration, explore, um, and become clear about what do you really want in your life, in your career, different areas of your life. What do you really want? Developing that clarity, in my view, is very important. Clarity may not emerge immediately for many people, so we have to keep working at it, and that's why I call that as exploration. So that is one part. Um, as I mentioned, that look at what is it that will give you fulfillment. Uh, what is that will keep you excited? Uh, find that out. Find that. Then third is taking that courageous step to move out of the comfort zone. That is the third step. Now the fourth
Right.
step is keep at it. Persistence. Right. So these, according to me, are required for one to transform their career and life.
Right. So this is something off bit, just came to my mind. Like when you transition from your, what I could say is a very good corporate career, and you embarked on a totally new world. And, we are quite hesitant when we get onto the new things, and there can be a lot of challenges, personal, professional. So I'd like to know how, how did you manage that? Because it is a very easy, to just give up things like, let's say I'll start for 6 months, I want to do something, and I might lose that hope. Okay, okay, I just let me just go back to my life where I was doing very good, and this seems a little challenging. I don't know how much time it's going to take. So what kept you going on your journey? That is something I'm curious about, because it's not easy to shift, and it requires a lot of mental strength. And but yeah, I'm sure you must have also faced the challenges, coming, switching that from your corporate life to becoming a coach. So I want to know, how did you handle those challenging times, and actually what kept you going throughout?
Yeah, I think that's a great question, Nitin. So challenges, when I look back, uh, first challenge was moving out of my comfort zone. And when I say comfort zone, uh, there was a fear of losing out on income, salary, right? When I move out of my job, salary will stop, right? So one was finance. So after I spoke to my wife and I spoke to my parents about that I want to change my career, and I have, a plan to pursue a career which I like. The next person that I spoke to was my financial planner. He's also a dear friend. His name is Chantil Iyer. I spoke to him and I told him that, hey, Chantil, this is what I'm planning to do. Now, please tell me, what's going to be the impact on the life goals? Because in financial planning, we had set up life goals. So what's going to be the impact? So we actually had a conversation, me, my wife, and Chantil. We sat together at least a few times. It was not one meeting. We sat down multiple times and looked at what are the different scenarios that are there. How much is my saving? For how long can I, you know, uh, experiment with my new career? How much time do I have? How much buffer time do I have before I start earning anything? That was first challenge. It's very practical challenge, right? Because a lot of people will say, okay, follow your heart, follow your passion. But
Correct.
see,
That's what.
finances and the responsibility of the family is very, very important. That cannot be ignored. So that I took care of that. one challenge. Another thing which is absolutely of paramount importance to me is that my family support. So the challenge was, many people face this challenge that will my family support me in this decision when I'm taking off the offbeat kind of a career, or when I'm thinking about leaving my job, a well-paying job, and that too when I am the only earning member in the family. Will my family support me? I was very lucky, and I am very lucky that my wife supported me wholeheartedly. My parents supported me. All my near and dear ones supported me wholeheartedly. That was second. So it helped me overcome that challenge of, will my near and dear ones support me or not? One more challenge clearly was that there was a lot of uncertainty around what I was going to do, how I was going to do, how do I set up my practice as a coach, where do I get clients, right? I had worked in corporate for 18 years as an employee. Now I had no business background. I can call myself as first generation entrepreneur, and I had no idea how to set up a business, how to set up a practice. So there a lot of uncertainty around that. But I think I kept going because of first two things, right? I had kept my finances in check, and I was clear about that. I had 1 year time to experiment with this, so I was not stressed about that. Secondly, I had family support, and third thing, my own burning desire to create something as a career which I love to do. And I very, very honestly, right, I looked at it as an opportunity of a lifetime. I said, how many people get this opportunity to really look at their life and career and reinvent their careers? Like, if I look at my own parents, my mother, my father, my mother worked in Central Railways for 28 years. Unfortunately, during her lifetime, she did not have an opportunity to change her career because of the circumstances. My father worked in a construction company for 30 years. He did not have an opportunity to reinvent his career because they were taking care of the family, because of the financial situation was such that both of them had to work that long to educate me, my sister, and keep the family running. But I came to a point in my life where I said that, okay, I can take the risk right now. And I looked at it as an awesome opportunity to reinvent my career and reinvent my life. That's how I look at it, Nitin.
That's a very brief answer. And why I asked this question, because this is very practical. And everybody goes through that mental, in two minds, whether am I doing the correct thing? Am I going to succeed? So there is always a contrary in everybody's mind, and it's a very practical thing that I also experienced initially. So another question, what we'd like to say, as NiMiTHAM focuses more so with youngsters, and which is a very great initiative what Smita has started. So what would be your message to the youngsters, as per whatever you have done, you've been through your journey. So what you would like to tell them?
Sure. So I would say that don't settle for ordinary. Go for extraordinary. And what is extraordinary? You can define. Individual, the person can define what is extraordinary for them. What is their dream? What will be they happy about that they created in their life? As Smita was mentioning earlier, it is about creation. And each one of us have that opportunity to create ourselves and create our life. It is one of the biggest opportunities. It is the biggest opportunity for us as human beings. Animals don't have that opportunity. Human beings, we are blessed to have that opportunity that we can create ourselves, and we can create our life the way we want it. So I will give that message to youngsters. Create a life that you love.
That's a good message.
That actually, it's very practical and it's short and sweet, but I think very effective. So Smita, I mean, I have asked what I had in my mind to ask, because this is now other way around. We have we had opportunity to ask him questions. Usually he is in the driving seat and we are in the listening. So this time around it was the other way. And it was quite good, that we could ask him certain questions for
Yeah.
change. So over to you, Smita.
Yeah. So,
I think, I'm done with my questions, whatever I had in mind.
So yeah, somebody corrected me that nowadays youngsters don't like to be called youngsters; they want to be called young adults, basically. So one of the questions which came up from them is that when is the need for a coach? At what age? Whether it's a mid-career, when they're in mid-career they need a coach, or whether they start their career they need a coach, or they want to change their career, or if they've made a wrong decision in life, when do they need a coach? And how do they find out about a coach? How do they find their coach, basically? So if you
Yeah,
can answer, it would be good.
I think that's a great question. That's a great question. What I would say is that nobody needs a coach. Nobody needs a coach. It is the question of, do you want a coach? It is not a need. It is not a need. One can go through life, as they are, right? But when you want to create something extraordinary about your life, or when you want to reinvent yourself, it helps to have a coach. Because when I work with my coach helps me identify my blind spots. When I work with my clients, they can look at their life in a very different way. Coaching helps you, or coaching helps clients to completely change their perspectives about life. So it is about creating yourself in a new way. It is an opportunity. And so if one wants to create an extraordinary career, extraordinary life, it is worth trying coaching with any coach that you resonate with, and try it out. Try how it works. See, the simple advantage of a coach is that coach has the advantage of working with you, who is committed to you, but has the advantage that he can see things about you which you cannot see. Example, we all need mirror every day, right? Because we cannot see ourselves. I can easily see other people's behavior, very easy. But I cannot see my own behavior and my own limitations, my own limiting beliefs and contradictions that I have about myself, which a good coach can easily spot that. And a good coach will always look at you as the possibility that you are. He will not. So as a coach, I will not settle for anything less than extraordinary for my clients. Because when I look at them as the extraordinary human beings that they are and they can be, as a possibility, which they themselves cannot see possibly because of the past, because of the conditioning, because of the limiting beliefs, whatever, right? But when I see that in them and I tell them that this is who you are as a possibility, of course they create that for themselves, and I believe in them. It creates magic.
Agreed. So I also keep telling them that why people need a coach is so that you get to know their own potential. You might be missing out on something, basically, and probably and our limiting beliefs, basically. That is what stops us from doing anything. So yeah,
absolutely.
I think that's. Let me see if there are any comments or any questions. I think there are no questions as such. So yeah, so I had a great time talking to both of you, and so I call myself a chartered accountant, but not anymore. I call myself a creative accountant nowadays. So if you look at, you see a lot of things colorful here. So even my bulletin board is all with colors or everything, because it's how life is now. So I don't look. So for me, life mantra is what I do things which makes my heart flutter. So I don't go by anything else.
Wonderful.
So that's what,
and your journey, Smita, is very, very inspiring. As I said, the cause that you have taken up through NiMiTHAM, it is amazing. It is very much needed in today's time. The work that you're doing for youngsters through life skill training, everything, it's quite amazing and really inspiring. So best wishes for that.
Thank you. And I am creating a team, so I would definitely come back to you also to help me build that team as well, because I need those help from coaches as well, so that I can help people reach their potential as well and fulfill their own dreams through learning life skills as well.
Sure.
So thanks for your time. Thanks for being part of my life journey as well, and being part of NiMiTHAM's journey as well, because both of you have played a very important role for NiMiTHAM as well.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thanks,
Smita,
Smita.
for inviting me.
Yeah.
Same
Hope
here,
everyone.
and it was great
It
talking to
was
both
great
of
to be
you.
with both of
Nitin.
you, Smita and Nitin. Yeah, it was great.
Yes, ma'am.
Thanks viewers for being part of our show. Hope you enjoyed the conversation we had on reinventing career and coaching, etc. If you have any questions, DM us. I mean, you can DM NiMiTHAM or you can reach out to Hemant sir's ID, Insta ID or LinkedIn, because I keep mentioning everywhere the IDs when the show happens. So you can reach out for any help, and if you need to reach out for anything regarding coaching, etc. Also, you can reach out to Nitin as well, because I've been working with Nitin for some mentoring project for NiMiTHAM as well. So yeah, so it's been
Right.
a great work with him on that perspective as well. So people, you can reach out there. And for next week's episode, it may not happen because I'm out of town. I'm in Bombay, so I'll let you know of the details of the next episode in coming days. Thanks everyone for watching the show, and enjoy your weekend. Bye.
Same to
Take
you.
Thank
care.
you.
Enjoy your weekend. Thanks.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.